lot of people, even educated people, think they know how much clothing costs to make, and they just don't understand how difficult it is to source an ethically made, environmentally responsible product. I'm Eva St. Clair, the founder of Princess Awesome. We make girls' clothes with themes usually found in the boys section. You can think dresses with dinosaurs, rocket ships, and pirates. I think the main way in which our business is affected by larger retailers is the mindset that they have inculcated in the consumer. The idea that clothing should be really cheap and basically disposable.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems is the linear traditional business model that a lot of companies have, including some traditional apparel companies, where it's you take the raw materials, so cotton or polyester, which comes from oil, and use new raw materials to make products, sell them, and then the customer throws them away, and then you make a new material, sell it to the customer, and it throws away. So it doesn't ever come back into the system. So you lose that value. In general, up until about the 90s or so, it was more of a fall, winter, and then a spring, summer collection. So you had turnover, but it was much less often than it is now. So with increased production methods, faster marketing, faster design, we're seeing an increase in the number of cycles of clothing. They're called micro seasons. So you'll see a lot of new shop windows just churning over their different fashion, and it's no longer the winter collection or the summer collection, it's this week's collection.
It's very hard to look at them and judge them so critically because I understand the kinds of issues that they're trading off. They want to make a large profit on what they're doing, and they also want to deliver to a public who increasingly wants to wear clothing once, throw it out, and wear something new the next day. Having started the company and now understanding why certain kinds of clothes are so inexpensive has made me think that I'm not going to buy those kinds of clothes anymore. And I have 4 children, so clothing is expensive and they wear them out very quickly. But I'm balancing that against knowing that a very small child in India sewed the sequins on my daughter's jacket.
You know, the race to the bottom of the cheaper supply chain, the more that's who gets the business, tends to have a cost somewhere. And it's a cost in whether or not you adhere to environmental regulations or you adhere to worker safety or worker wages.
The environmental impacts of the clothing industry are profound. You're polluting rivers and streams, and a lot of countries in other parts of the world, they don't have the environmental regulations that keep people from truly ruining their environment and making it harmful to those around them.
Cotton, for instance, is, these numbers are changing all the time, but it's about 40% of the fibers used for clothing. But cotton is quite a thirsty crop. It takes a lot of water, and improper irrigation techniques could lead to a lot of water stress. You're pulling from the same resources. So a cotton field is pulling from water that might have been able to supply it in the past, but with growing population, with growing consumption demand, who else is going to be pulling from that water? We live on a finite planet, and so we need to figure out how all businesses and all industries can work within those different boundaries. The customer is really important. In terms of energy use, you could wash your clothes in cold water, for instance. You could make sure that your clothing is recycled or is donated, or that if it just needs a small repair, you're comfortable sewing on a button.
My name is Cheryl Lofton. I am the owner of Cheryl A. Lofton and Associates. We're a third-generation tailoring service in the nation's capital. So we offer alterations, we offer custom tailoring, repairs, anything that requires a needle and thread, we can do it here. Absolutely, it does have a positive impact on the environment, especially because We can extend the life of your clothes by just repairing them, because we can update clothes. We can update your old clothes to the newest fashions. We can adjust it to your size. If you've gained weight, we can go bigger. If you've lost weight, we can go small. So we absolutely can extend the life of your wardrobe, and that's what we do here.
In the 5th grade, my mom put me in a beginner sewing class, and then after that I just kind of never really left. I've been sewing since then. But then when it comes to upcycling, which is something that I do a lot, you go to thrift stores or you just find any old clothing that you have, and then you put a modern twist on it, like you changing like old jeans and then making them into like something more trendy, something more recent. When you make your own clothing, you are less likely to just throw it away or just give it away. Like with this jacket in particular, or with like one of the dresses that I made for like my cousin's weddings, I find so much more value in that. I'm like this is something that I made. This is something that was like literally handmade, and it's got a whole different meaning to it.
We all have a big role to play. I think customers are really important. Businesses are really important in what they give customers to buy. Customers need to demand better from companies. So I think it all is a system, and it's all working towards a sustainable future. And sustainable future just means that we're able to all live in it.